Sisters, have you ever felt so bad in every cell of your body when you said yes to a request that somebody made from you? Somebody made a request of you and you really didn't want to do it, but you said yes. And you felt that internal betrayal in every cell of your body. You felt that the answer should have been hell no. But you said yes anyways. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? We're going to talk about that today. Hello, welcome, welcome. Welcome to this channel that was created for single women in midlife who are feeling that this is not the end, that this is the time for a new beginning. They are inspired. They feel that there's so much more that they want to do with the second chapter of their life. They know that they would like to create the fuller version of themselves, the better version of themselves, now that they have the time and the energy and it can be all about them. They want to take it and they want to run with it. And I find that the most exciting thing ever for a woman in midlife to say, I want to be the best version of myself. I am not ready to stop living life. As a matter of fact, I am just starting. I am just beginning. Watch me fly. That's what this channel is about. That's what this channel is for. That's what lights me up on the inside, to know that there are women that still want to rock it out in the second chapter of their life. Look at me getting all carried away. My name is Saada Sharon Vanderlees. I am a mind, body, spirit, holistic health coach, and I love to support women, single women, especially in midlife, to live the greatest life, to live their best life yet. So yes, I can admit that I have done this. Now, I'm not gonna say that I am a full people pleaser. No, I can say no. I can say no at times, but I think that a lot of times when it really matters, I have been guilty of saying yes instead of no. And I'll give you an example. I was with my last relationship, my second husband. When we met, I was in a band. I had my own band, right? And I was having so much fun. I loved it. I always wanted to have my own band. I had been in many bands, but it wasn't my band, you know? So I finally got myself, I did the work, the confidence work and everything to get myself to the point to where I could have my own band, right? I would be the front person. I would be standing there, you know, being seen, right? Being the main attraction. So yeah, I was there and I was doing it and I was loving it. I felt so good. And then I meet this man, and what does he ask me? He asks me if I could please stop singing for him because it makes him uncomfortable. I mean, he was uncomfortable with the fact that, because it was me and the guitarist that like created the rest of the band. We were the core, right? He was the guitarist and I was the vocalist, and everybody else was like an addition, but we were the core of the band, right? And of course, we had to work together. We had to work on the music together. We had to work on everything together. And the man had his wife and children, and yet my husband, my ex-husband, felt threatened by the friendship, by the relationship that we had that was completely and only based on the music. He couldn't see that. He couldn't feel that. He was too threatened due to his own insecurities, and he asked me to give it up for him. And I did. Now, oh, let me tell you, there's no greater pain. There's no greater feeling of betrayal than when you betray yourself. That is the deepest betrayal that you can ever commit. Yeah. So I want to talk about why we do that. Why do we do that? Why do we feel that we should betray ourselves in order to make other people comfortable or happy? Oh my God. Oh, but when we betray ourselves, what does it really look like, right? I gave you an example of what it looks like. It's about ignoring our own needs. Sometimes it's ignoring our own intuition, our own inner voice telling us something, and we ignore it because we want to please somebody else. Sometimes it's about avoiding a difficult conversation that you need to have with somebody. Maybe if I had had a conversation with my ex and said, what is it really that is threatening to you? Instead of just giving in. Sometimes it is about suppressing our own emotions, suppressing what it is that we feel that doesn't feel right, and honoring somebody else's needs. Sometimes it is about us abandoning our dreams in order to please somebody else. Sometimes our dreams are threatening to someone else that's important to us. And because they're important to us, we think that we have to abandon our own dream in order to honor them. So we end up accepting less than what we deserve. And why do we do this? Why do we think that that's what we should do? Like, where does that come from? Who made this like this for us? Like, how did this ever happen? Because I don't think men have this problem, not in general. Yeah, you may have some men that, feel that they need to please maybe their woman or something so they don't lose her, but that's not a man thing. This is a woman thing. And I think that it comes from our whole environment. I think we are conditioned to be this way. I think from the time that we are growing up as little girls, we are conditioned to accommodate others, to take care of others, to please others, to be quiet and not seen. Yeah, especially, the old school people. Definitely the old school, I think things are slowly changing. Women are slowly taking the space that they deserve. They're slowly beginning to make their voice heard. But I think that we need to stay on it. We need to support each other. We need to address it. We need to frequently address this so that we don't forget. We don't forget that this is something that we need to stop doing. That we don't forget to check ourselves. I think it also comes from a place of low self-esteem, because when our self-esteem is high, we do not betray ourselves. We do not put other people's needs before ours, because we can feel our own needs as priority. Not in a negative, selfish way, but in a healthy way. It's like, if you do not put the oxygen on, you can't help anybody else. So when your self-esteem is healthy, then you know how to take care of your own needs first before you can take care of other people. It's just a natural thing. You don't have a fear of being called the B word, right? You don't fear that. If people want to call you a B, well then hey, so be it, right? You don't even worry about that. As a matter of fact, you don't even mind, because the B's, they get respect. They get things done. They get what they want. So if somebody is going to call you a B because of who you are being, because you're being you, then let it be. So be it. And I think another reason why we do it is because we have a fear of being abandoned by those that we love. We don't want to be abandoned, and so we betray ourselves. Yeah. And that's why it's so important that we take care of ourselves and that we empower ourselves. Because when we are self-empowered, we don't have a fear of being abandoned, because there's no such thing as being abandoned when you have your own back, right? When you are solidly positioned within your own being. Nobody can leave you. Nobody can leave you feeling abandoned. Let's put it like that, because people can leave your life, and they will. When you put your foot down and you no longer betray yourself for other people, the people that don't really care about you, they're gonna leave. And that's how you know who really cares about you. The people that do not expect you to betray yourself for them, those are the people that you want to keep around. Those are the people that truly value you. So don't be afraid to be abandoned, because those people are not your real people. They don't really care about you. So yeah, we're afraid that we have to pay a price. Yeah. But as I said, the highest price is the self-betrayal. That's the highest price you're going to pay, is to betray yourself in order to please somebody else. The price is too high to pay. Trust me. So what happens now when we finally make that decision to stop betraying ourselves? When we finally say, I'm not doing this anymore. The price is too high. I'm not willing to pay that price anymore. No. What happens? What does that look like? We begin to feel more peaceful. It's like an exhale. We just, yeah, it's like some kind of pressure just falls off, it just falls away. And we begin to feel more at peace with ourselves because we're choosing ourselves first. And that's an amazing feeling. There's nothing like it. We start to build our self respect. We begin to respect ourselves because we're no longer accepting less than what we deserve from others. When you begin to respect yourself, you're not going to put up with just anything anymore because now you know what it is that you deserve. It's about you taking your power back. Because when you're pleasing other people, you're always giving your power away. When you're betraying yourself, you're always giving your power to somebody else. But when you stop doing that, now you are taking back your power. And that again is a beautiful thing. And you begin to form healthier relationships. The friendships that you form and the love interests that you choose are healthier because they're coming into your life based on the shift that you made. The shift that you made to no longer betray yourself. The shift that you made to honor yourself and to honor your own needs. We begin to reconnect with our intuition, right? We begin to hear and pay attention to that inner voice that is so very important, that is everything. We begin to reconnect with that. And that, again, is a beautiful thing. We feel more confident. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I mean, there is nothing like feeling confident, feeling good about who you are, not being perfect. That's not what I'm talking about because we're never going to be perfect. We are here to grow and learn. For as long as we are in these bodies, we will learn, we will grow, we will change. If that's not happening, you're not really alive. So that's not what I'm talking about. The confident is actually the feeling that I can do whatever I choose to do. I can do whatever I set my mind to. I don't need somebody else's approval. I don't need to betray myself. I'm confident. I'm rooted in who I truly am. And there's nothing like that. And this, all of this creates greater wellness, greater well-being emotionally. Because when you do not compromise who you are, when you do not betray who you are, you relax, right? You feel at peace. And your whole emotional well-being is starting to find a flow and a balance. And the whole picture of you is coming into view for you to see, right? You begin to fully feel and see yourself. And that, again, is the most beautiful thing that you can experience, is to see yourself for who you are and to love yourself for who you are. Not according to anybody else's expectations or standards, but to just see the uniqueness of yourself and be be confident about it and be accepting of it and be loving of it. Because we were not meant to look like somebody else. We were not meant to be compared to somebody else. We were meant to be the unique being that we are, that we were created to be. And that may not look like anybody in your environment, and that's okay, and that should be okay. If not with your environment, but with you. It should be okay with you to be different, to be who you know that you are. And don't apologize for it, and don't betray yourself for it. So now let's talk about how. How do we actually stop doing this? How do we stop betraying ourselves? Of course, we first decide, right? Every change that we make starts with a decision from the heart, a decision from the soul. Enough is enough. No more. That's where it starts. And that's something, I think, when the time is right, it just takes you, right? It just comes over you. It's like your spirit is taking control and saying, okay, now we are doing this my way. And that is a feeling that you cannot deny. So that's where it starts. And then what happens is we start to pay attention, right? We start to pay attention to everything that we feel and hear coming from our soul. We no longer ignore that inner voice. We pay attention. We stop explaining ourselves to others. Yeah. No more need to do that, right? Because you're not looking for approval. You're not looking for acceptance from other people. So you don't need to explain yourself. You become comfortable. You become okay. You make it okay. You make the decision that it's okay to disappoint somebody else. It's okay. It is fine. They will get over it. They will respect you more. They will respect you more. You may not believe it, but they will respect you more when you have enough self-love to disappoint them. And by doing that, you're helping them. You are helping them as well. You're doing them a favor because now you're giving them an opportunity to go and figure out themselves. Because they were asking you to meet a need that they can fill on their own. They don't need you to make them feel good. But as long as you keep betraying yourself to help them feel good, you're not doing them any favors. So you see how this is a win-win? This is a win-win that you never realized. Yeah, so you choose self-respect over approval from others. You have made a decision now to choose your own self-respect over approval from others. That's how we stop betraying ourselves. So I hope that I was able to highlight, that I was able to make you aware and make you understand that the price that you are going to pay for betraying yourself, and the day, because you may not even realize that you're doing this over and over again, but there's going to come a day when you're going to look back and you're going to see how much you betrayed yourself. Because it happened to me. When I look back at that decision that I made, Mm, that is it's a pain that I never want to experience again. So I am begging you to stop. Stop betraying yourself. Make that decision. Enough is enough. You're going to build the new you. And you're going to know that you're doing everybody else a favor as well. You're not helping anybody by making them think that they need you to betray yourself so that they can feel good. It's a lie. So, my dear soul sisters, I really hope that you found some value in this chat. And until we meet again, I wish you so much peace and so much love. Peace.